Hello, Planet Earth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730. I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations. As always, you've made your way to the Buffington Post. Today we'll be continuing Season 9 with Angel and Faith, Season 9, Number 2. It's Live Through This, Part 2. Where last we left Angel and Faith, she kind of woke him up out of his catatonia when she was reading from one of Giles's Watcher's Diary entries. They saved the day, and then Angel decided he was going to try and bring Giles back to life. Now keep in mind that we live in a world without magic, A, and B, Giles' neck was snapped. He wasn't, magically killed. So everybody, including Faith and me, are looking at Angel like, motherfucker, you crazy. So let's see just how crazy he is in Angel and Faith, Season 9, Number 2, Live Through This, Part 2. Here we go. So the issue opens with Steak Happy Nadira and her other slayers, and she is chasing this vampire with a briefcase down the street. Faith is fighting off this demon at the same time, and she's hollering at Nadira to wait for backup. But Nadira's not hearing any of that. She can take out one vampire. Only this one vampire has a gun, and he turns around and shoots Nadira right in the calf. Ow. Angel is actually over there too, and he cuts off the vampire's head and disappears before Nadira can see him. Now keep in mind, Nadira wants Angel super dead. Nadira picks up the briefcase and she goes back to Faith, who is fighting off this demon, but then the demon decides he got what he came for and he flies off with the cash. So Nadira and Faith are looking at the contents of this briefcase, and sure enough, there's this glass vial, and it had some green, crazy, nasty stuff in it. And she says, I don't know what this is, but I think I might know somebody who does. Nadira remarks on the fact that whoever killed that vampire wasn't with Nadira and her slayers. And Faith says, hey, if somebody's out there killing vampires, sounds like a friend of mine. So I'll go holla. She meets up with Angel, who's hanging out on a rooftop. And she says, hey, what are you, crazy? Nadira wants you totally dead. He says if I hid around, every time somebody wanted me dead, I'd never go out. So anyway, she says, well, you're acting super crazy lately because you think you can bring Giles back from a natural death and not a mystical one. And Angel says there's nothing natural about the way that Giles died. And she says, hey, yeah, you actually snapped his neck. That's pretty natural. He explains to Faith that, there are always resurrection spells, and they are physical. The physicality of it is easy to do, but the only problem is you come back with zombies or just, not the person you came with. The real person is actually in the soul.
Wow, Planet Earth, I almost published this video without putting in the most important part of why this all works. The reason that we can put Giles' soul back together is because Giles is a watcher and he was a sorcerer and his whole life was immersed in magic. And he has all of these experiences with magic that they can learn about in the Watcher's Diaries and try and figure out where to look for these different pieces of Giles' soul. Kind of like what's going on with Voldemort in the Deathly Hallows. Sort of. Weirdly.
And so by this point, they've had this conversation. They're back at, Giles/Faith's house. And she says, wait. You want to put Giles' soul together? He's not a freaking car engine. You can't just piece him back together. And after you do that, what are you going to do? Dig him up? And Angel says, yeah, that'll be what we have to do after that. So Faith says, fuck this. I am not going along with your crazy shit anymore. I'm out of here. Angel says, hey, I know that you don't believe me, and I don't need you to believe me, but I do need you to help me because I can't do this alone. So let me try and prove to you that this can really work. So now Faith here is really wrestling with this idea. She doesn't want Angel to go down this crazy fucking rabbit hole of guilt and trying to, make something better that he just can't. But at the same time, what kind of friend would she be if she left Angel just on his own when he's in this super crazy place? Because Angel didn't give up on Faith when she was going all crazy. So she says, okay, I'll help you. So Angel and Faith go to this crazy demon fight club, and Faith thinks it's funny that demons need another excuse to fight. The thing about it is they have this fight club because magic's gone, and so a lot of demons are kind of on the same level playing field. They can't, use magic the way that they used to. So anyway, they start talking to this demon, and he apparently works for this demon mob boss, and what they do is they basically traffic in body parts. You need a body part? We'll get it for you. And you don't have to sign that organ donor thing for us to take it out of you. So anyway, he doesn't want to help Angel and Faith, whatever. And so Faith says, okay, you know what? I could actually use an extra hand since you're in the business of it. So an extra hand grows out of this motherfucker's back and he attacks Faith. But then Angel rips the hand off and this whole big bloody bar fight starts. So Angel and Faith both get totally beat the fuck up in this fight. And Angel says it was all part of the plan because this particular demon, he can smell his blood trail a mile away. So they track this demon down and he goes to meet up with the horny demon that Faith was all fighting at the beginning of the issue. So the demon and the guy, or both of the demons, are talking about his new lack of third arm, okay? So he says, you gotta give me the juice so I can get going again. And he says, oh, you ain't worth shit, but I don't feel like training anybody else, so here, have some juice, and I'm taking it out of your pay. So Home Dude puts a little juice on his back, and then, whoop-de-doo, he gets a new arm growing out his back. Yay? So Faith is like, holy what the fuck? What just happened? Angel explains to Faith that, yeah, he was pretty sure from what Giles was writing in his Watcher's diaries that these guys had upgraded from body parts to Mora blood. Now, Mora blood, a Mora demon is this thing that attacked Buffy and Angel in I Will Remember You, and Angel got the blood on him, and then he was completely healed of his being dead. They can heal necrotic flesh. It's great. So he says, yeah, this is what it can do. This Mora blood can make you into a person. It can actually bring things back from the dead. So once we get Giles' soul all put back together, we'll just give him some of this blood and his body will be totally back together with his newly intact soul. Yay. So Faith is just like, whoa. This is crazy. So anyway, she and Angel bust into this demon guy's little hideout, and he and Faith start a fight. So whatever, they're fighting. There's this one crazy flammable hydrogen bitch. I don't know what's going on with this demon, but anyway, Angel can't kill it, right? So Faith says, hey, this motherfucker's flammable. Watch this. She strikes up her lighter, throws it at the hoe, and everything goes up in flames. So the Mora blood, the vials are destroyed or whatever, but Angel says it's cool, there'll be more. Where that came from. These people have got to have a supply somewhere. So he's trying to mess with this demon and ask him where the supply is and all this good stuff. This whole time, Faith is seeing that Angel's getting really violent and just acting super scary. So anyway, she's thinking about how they can't bring Giles back from a natural death. He told her so himself. He said you can't bring people back from the dead. So we flash back to the time where Faith and Giles were kind of living together in England. And so they're talking about how Faith, using time travel or some kind of crazy magics could bring people back from the dead. And he says, Faith, you don't have to really, worry about all that. You can't do that. And she says, I really appreciate you, getting my charges dropped and all this fun, crazy stuff that you did to make me not a fugitive anymore, but I still would like to undo my wrongs. And Giles says, the deputy mayor, he was really shady and he was probably involved with a bunch of crazy stuff. You shouldn't feel too bad. And she says, I don't feel bad about that motherfucker. I'm worried about Professor Worth, the nice volcanologist I stabbed in the gut a bunch of times. So, yeah, Giles says, you know what, you're not ever going to make up for that, and there's no way to undo that, but you have to try. We all have to try by just trying to make a lifetime of good with our lives. And so Faith is thinking, okay, well, I know that Angel's kind of going down crazy avenue, and he's just going to keep beating himself up, beating himself up, beating himself up, unless I do something about it. And so as she's saying this, she's looking at the little vial of broken Mora blood. So we'll see where that goes. Well, then this dude with the third arm guy, he gets approached by Pearl and Nash. And Pearl and Nash are pretty much like, hey, we're the new hot shit, and you better fuck with us. And they're like, we ain't fucking with you. But then they just, tear off one of his arms, and they're like, okay, you're gonna play with us, right? And that's where we end the issue. So I think the most interesting thing about this issue is Faith, and the fact that she is suddenly the responsible one. She's having to look out for Angel, she's having to be a good friend. And being a friend is not anything that Faith has ever really been to anybody. She's been banter gal, and she's been, fun frenemy, but Angel might be the only friend that Faith ever had. Aside from Giles, and you could argue Buffy, but, that's been on the rocks for a good long while. But no, here we have Faith, and she's having to really, try and be a good friend to Angel. She realizes that she can't solve all of his problems and make him happy or make him feel good about, his place in the world, but at the same time, she can't just stand by and watch him do these crazy things. And right now, she's kind of choosing to, only because she realizes that he kind of needs a babysitter more than a friend, which is an awkward place to put her in because Faith is not used to being the responsible one. Angel here is just so clouded by this whole Giles thing. It's really scary, and it's really scary to Faith. She doesn't know what too far is for Angel. He's always kind of flirted with this darkness, and she sees him becoming more and more violent and kind of getting off on it. And she even says to him, you told me not to get off on violence, and that's pretty much what it looks like you're doing. You need to reel it back in. But he just won't. He keeps getting more and more scary and more just focused on this whole crazy Giles thing. And it's really worrying Faith. And I like that Faith also has to deal with Nadira. Nadira is somebody who was just like Faith. She was angry and she was feeling like she was unstoppable and all of this good stuff. But at the end of the day, Faith is not immortal, and neither is Nadira. And seeing Nadira kind of flirt with her own death throughout the season is something that you can look forward to. Because at this point, Angel and Nadira are very much in the same space. They are both just blindly going in one direction. They have this tunnel vision. Angel is at the end of Nadira's, and Giles is at the end of Angel's. And Faith has to actually look at the whole picture and say, okay, where can we work this out together? And where could we maybe reel in your crazy a little bit? And so, this whole Mora Demon thing, it'll get more interesting as we go on, and Pearl and Nash will be more intriguing. And if you look at Pearl and Nash, they are pretty much the antithesis of Angel and Faith. Angel and Faith are both very dark, shadows under their eyes and all this good stuff, but Pearl and Nash are just pale and white. They have no pupils, and they're just where Angel and Faith are trying to make up for their dark pasts and trying not to feel all of this kind of pleasure from hurting people, like Faith talks about getting off on violence. Pearl and Nash are the exact opposite. They want more and more violence and pain and carnage that they can cause. And so Pearl and Nash, as the season progresses, will prove to be a really great shadow for Angel and Faith. Not a whole lot that I don't like, other than I don't know, they talk a lot. They talk a lot, and it's fine. And all of this is happening like directly after the events of issue number 1. So I like that everything is, fast paced. It's all happening in the same night. And so things are going to get better and things are going to get more intriguing. And also, I do like that Faith has this guilt over Professor Worth. We really only see her stabbing the dude in the alley and her bloody stake and how, iconic that image was. But it's the real human small people that are mattering to Faith. And, getting this little flashback with her and Giles just shows that, they did have this relationship, and looking at that relationship throughout the season is going to be very, very interesting. So, that's pretty much all for today, you guys. I hope you're having a great 2015 so far. I'm Preston L. Young. You can come right back here to the Buffington Post at IDK, my BFF Jill 730, anytime. I've got Buffy the Vampire Slayer reviews, Angel and Faith reviews, Buffyverse discussions on the other Slayers, nitpicks and continuity issues, Season 8, and more. Check it out. I got playlists. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, I don't need nobody to rescue me or help me see the way you treat me, believe me. But I do need somebody to help me say it's time to walk away. Alright, okay. Too many times, too many times, too many times you crossed over that line. You change your mind, you change your mind, you change your mind. But I never did change mine. Still I was saved by the fire, singing its song in my heart that hypnotized all the demons and tore them apart. But you make them all come back, make them all return.